In this tutorial in CyberLink PowerDirector, we're going to take a look at some ways in which you can use a countdown template. Now, countdowns are useful. They create a sense of anticipation. They force the viewer to wait, but the promise is if you wait until after the countdown is over, something special is coming. You can use them often at the beginning of a project or even somewhere else, and that's what we'll do in this case. If I go to my first frame, you're going to see that this is a promo about a special method of grilling burgers. Watch and we'll show you what we're going to do. Now I end with special secret menu in moments. But instead of using that, what I want to use is a countdown timer to make the viewer wait in expectation that what they're going to see afterward is really worth their time. So let's add a countdown timer there by using a template. I'm going to click on the template options. In the upper left corner, it's the far icon on the right. And then I'm going to go into the subcategories and we'll use the countdown category. Now, one thing you'll notice instantly when you look at these is that there are variations on a number of them. They look identical, but some of them have been modified and uploaded to the director zone. That's what you see in the icon below. You see the DZ on the lower right corner. So you'll have several that look the same, at least when you start, but when you play them, they will be different because someone has tweaked them. Most of these happen to be videos. Let me show you the implications of that. I'm going to take this one and I can double click on it if I want to play it. We'll stop. You get the idea of how this works. Now, you have to remember also that these countdown templates are not chronological. By that, I mean they don't give you exact seconds. They're just a series of numbers to create that sense of anticipation. They may or may not be a second long. In fact, most of the ones I've experimented with are not. Here's another one. And some of them will end with things that have been customized by another user. I'll show you how to deal with that. So let's take one of these and see what we can learn by working through it carefully. Let's take this one here. I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to drag it and put it on the timeline. This is where my countdown will now start. Now the first time you do that, you're going to see this message. You are adding a video intro template. Do you want to open the video designer? And you can turn this off. I never use the video designer. I think it's more cumbersome than helpful. But let me show you what happens when you click on it. I'm going to click on yes here. So it will load the template into the video designer, and then it will go to the center frame, and you can scrub through and see how the countdown works. And now here at the end of this one, it's been customized to have these pip objects here. And I may not really think that I need a good vibes only and a mug of beer and all these elements at the end, but someone decided that's what they wanted. And you can use the buttons that are not grayed out to make changes. Now, once again, one of the changes is this one to replace the background. Well, the background is my countdown. So if I replace that, my countdown will disappear. I just find this a bit awkward. I'd rather edit on the timeline. So I'm just going to click on Add to Timeline. And what it will do is it will take that and put that in at that place in my sequence. Now it's added it to my timeline. This is the segment here. It gave me a video and it gave me all these pip objects that I can use or discard. And it gave me an audio track. And I can move any of this wherever I want. I'll move it up just to give me some more space to see what's going on here. Let me move it even higher, I think. There. And so when I play this, I see the same thing I could have seen in the editor. But now I also see these elements. Now, if I want to isolate one and see what it is and where it's working, I can click here where I see all these happen to be at the same place. I can also right-click on this track and say Enable Selected Track Only. Now I only see this pip object. Oh, this is my good vibes. I don't want that, so I'll just delete it. All right, now I can right-click on another track and enable that one only. And this is my music symbols. I don't want that either. So you can add and remove things that someone else has put in or that were part of the original template to start with. In this case, I'm going to take out all these pip objects. I really don't want any of them. I also have to right-click, and I'm going to click on Enable All Tracks. Oh, there's my beer. I don't need that. And I really don't know what this one does. I can scrub through it and play. Oh, that makes a sound, looks like. Okay, I don't need that. But now what I have, if I take it this way and play it from my old video to the end of the new segment, it interrupted the music with its own track. So I'm going to even take the music out and take the music file I had and just continue it since it was longer than what I was using. I'm going to take a title that I had, Special Secret Menu in Moments. And again, I'd probably move this somewhere else or change the size or fonts, but this is just to get the idea. And so I can add and change anything I want perfectly on the timeline. I could add an image, I could overlay it with an image. Here I'm just overlaying it with a text. So let's see what it looks like when we transition from the old ending to this countdown. Okay, and I could take the video and stretch it out if it's too fast. I could slow it down, I could speed it up. Anything I want to do. Is it a pip object? See if I can edit it. Yes, I can change the speed of it. So I can speed it up or slow it down to a certain point. You have a limit if it's a pip object as opposed to if it's a true video. So I can make that modification as well. So that's something you can do with these. Let me show you one other thing related to these particular kinds of countdowns. There are a few that do not have the focus on the first part as their pip object or their video. Let's put this one here. I don't want to edit this in the element. I'll let it load everything again on the timeline. And here it added all these elements. Now here I find that in my image, the 2023, which comes on right here, is a pip object. It's going to act like it's an image, and I don't want 2023 since that's past. I want 2025, but I find in this case I can't edit it. So if I click on it, let's click on it. Well, let's do Enable Track Only. And there it is. It's not something I can edit. It looks like it's a number, but it's not. But here's a trick of what you can do if you have something like this. I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to go to my title room. And let's take a title like this one. And I'm going to call this 2026. And I can go ahead and edit it. Let's go to the advanced. And I'll go from a solid color to a gradient color. Pick something closer to what it was originally. And maybe I don't want that font. I'm going to go to Impact. Click on OK. And then let's start it a little bit later. We'll add some animation. We'll make it fade in. Okay, and then I'm going to enable all my tracks. and it will look like the other one did since I replaced it. And so I've in effect changed this to reflect what I want to do. Some of these templates have some very interesting elements in them, but if you want to change them, again, my encouragement is try doing it on the timeline. I think you'll find that much less frustrating and much more fruitful.